3. Hey everybody, you are watching The Main Viewer. Today we'll be talking to 455 Films producers about previous Star Trek documentaries like For the Love of Spock, What We Left Behind, and an update on the Voyager documentary To the Journey. Meteorologist Katie will also be joining us with a big announcement, and we will cover last week's fun Star Trek Day event as I unbox this giant box.
Unbox the box.
Oh my god, it's so beautiful.
Kind of disappeared.
Trust me, you will be able to see it when we open it. And also these gift bags, lots of cool stuff to talk about. We'll be opening that stuff a little later. But let's go ahead and get to it because that's why you're here. Without further ado, let's introduce the special guests. 455 Films and Voyager documentary producer and editor, Joe Kornbrot.
Hello. Nice to be here.
We also have script coordinator for The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager, as well as the producer of the upcoming Voyager documentary, Lolita Faggio.
Hey, hello everyone. Good to be here.
Yeah. We also have our co-host today. You know him as Jake Sisko. I know him as Jake Sisko. Sirach Lofton.
What's up, everybody?
We also have a member of the Seventh Rule team, as well as our virtual TrekCon team, and cool Star Trek merchandise maker, Melissa Longo. And lastly, our associate producer of the Seventh Rule, team member of Virtual TrekCon, and an expert on everything Star Trek documentary and podcast, Anne-Marie Siegel, PhD.
No, MD. But it's
MD. Dr. Anne-Marie Siegel.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you
Well,
for having me.
Let's get started. We have a lot to talk about. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, everybody, in less than an hour from now, the Voyager documentary will be premiering the sneak peek. It's just a sneak peek, a little teaser, a little promo of the shoot that we did back in June. You're going to love it. It's awesome. We'll prompt you on that as the time comes. But before we do that, Anne-Marie, you first mentioned Chaos on the Bridge maybe 2 years ago, and you talked about how much you absolutely loved it. Can you tell us why?
Oh, well, it's definitely more than 2 years. It was on Netflix, and I was
To
like,
me,
hey,
I mean, you
what's this
mentioned it to
amazingness?
me.
Oh, it's so good, and it's just like so eye-opening for all of the 90s Trek that happened after Next Generation, because those first few years were so rocky, and it really got into in-depth interviews, and you get to know everybody behind the scenes a little bit, like Lolita, who's here. And it was really fantastic. And there were a lot of good interviews with people who are no longer with us and people who we've come to know and love even more than that, like Ira, some of the people you see in the future documentaries. But it's just amazing the amount of detail that it goes into and just changes your perspective and makes you appreciate Star Trek even more, I think. Plus, those early episodes have some very good gems in them, like, The Royale, one of my favorites. But
Nice.
Just absolutely amazing. So I was wondering, actually, how long did it take to get all of those interviews? Because it's from so many different people, sort of like how the Voyager documentary I anticipate is going to be.
I'm thinking back to when we started. We were doing Chaos interviews. I think we started in 2013. And actually, no, I had met Dave Zappone and Kevin Lane, who was producing those with Dave back in 2012. And I came into, they asked me to basically edit Still Kicking, which is a bonus Captain's Close-Up that's now on our Chef Factory thing. And from that, they said, hey, we got these half hours, and I stayed on that. And I was editing those, gosh, I guess it was 2012. And they, Bill and Dave Zappone and Maury Hurley had met in, I think, the summer, just before STLV. And so did 4 interviews at JPL. Ira was one of them.
Wow.
Richard Arnold, Herman Zimmerman, and Maury, and that was what started it. And then I think, you know, we went up to the convention and we were shooting pickups for the close-ups, and we were, I think Get a Life was still finishing. Maybe it was 2013. I'm sorry. It's kind of a jumble because it all happened. They were all going around the same time. But really, it was either 2012 and 2013 or 2013 and 2014. But the film came out in 2014. So it had been 2012, 2013, I think. And then, so we really shot most of those interviews were either at the conventions or in LA. I think Dave, actually, the Patrick Stewart interview was very late. Dave reached out to him after there's a John Pike story. John Pike, who was the president of Paramount Television, tells a story that we wanted to reach out to Patrick and see if he felt the same way about that story. And it's almost verbatim. Patrick says, "I don't remember that story, but I remember this story," and that's in the film. But Patrick was only going to talk about that story, and he ended up talking to Dave for almost an hour, and it was right before he was supposed to go on stage. I think it was him and Ian McKellen were doing a play
for Godot.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. On Broadway, or I believe it was on Broadway, but it was in New York. And so yeah, I mean, it happened within a year span, but we weren't shooting all the time on it. There was a long period of time of editorial. We spent a lot, and we had a lot of constraints. It's only 59 minutes. I wish it could have been about 90 minutes.
59 hours.
yeah.
So.
We crammed so much, and especially that first 20 minutes to get all the history. That was a lot. It's a pretty breakneck speed that we were at, but there was a lot to get in there. Wow. We really wanted to give a good, tried to be as balanced as possible, because there's a lot of divergent viewpoints in that documentary in particular. You know, all kinds of things, you know, people that loved Gene and people that didn't love Gene, and people that loved the show and didn't love the show, and writers that loved writing on the show and writers that were not happy about it. I really enjoyed making that doc. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I appreciate the people that love it really think it's a fun film. So,
you know, like it kind of makes like the legends more like human, and makes some of the humans more legends, and it just really makes you view Star Trek and the franchise in such a new way, but a better way. I loved it.
Well, the thing I say, and it's not that it's that deep, but you know, Gene came up with this concept that humans were perfect in the 24th century, but that show and all the shows were written by human beings in the 20th century. And so, you know, with all their flaws, and that's, you know, flaws don't make a person bad or good or great. They just make a person interesting. And, you know, we tried to show people for what they were. They're human beings. They're not, you know, they're not icons that didn't exist without those flaws. You know, a lot of people kind of want to put everybody up on a pedestal, and Gene Roddenberry definitely deserves to be on a pedestal for his contributions to popular culture and Star Trek. But you know, he's like all of us. He's got his good parts and he's got his bad parts, you know. So
true.
And I think
and I think that what you just said about putting people on pedestals is you did that really well in For the Love of Spock as well, is showing Leonard Nimoy's humanity and you know, highlighting all of the great stuff that he did, but also showing he was dealing with his own stuff as well. So and it did it in a respectful and beautiful and tender way. So it wasn't, you know, you know, to be scandalous or salacious in any way. It was, and I know that he started making the documentary with Adam. So I want to know how that dynamics shifted when Nimoy passed, and how that affected the storytelling going forward.
Leonard passed in March of 2015. So in December of 2014, Dave Zappone got a call from Leonard. And Dave's talked about this in the past, when the Captains was being made, the last appearance of Leonard and Bill at a convention was in Star Trek Las Vegas, I think in 2009 or 2010. And Bill was filming it and Leonard didn't want it to be filmed. And Bill said, go ahead. And so I wasn't there, but we filmed it. And Leonard, after he got off stage, was very upset, and he called Dave to talk to him, or he met him backstage, and he said, you cannot use this footage. And he was very upset, and Dave was, you know, we will not use it, Mr. Nimoy. And you have my word. And we didn't use it. And so 4 years later, he got a call from Leonard saying, hey, you know, Adam and I are developing this documentary about Spock. Do you think anybody would want to see it? And it's like, well, of course, Mr. Nimoy. And so right about 3 weeks after that, after the new year, you know, Leonard had COPD, but he was still active at that point. But he didn't come to a meeting, but Adam came to the Paramount lot and met with Dave, Kevin, and myself, and we talked it through, and we started brainstorming. I think Adam and Leonard had brainstormed for quite a while on this concept, and originally they wanted to be really just all about Spock. All about Spock. I mean, just all kinds of minutia. Not the man. Yeah, just the character, which, you know, that didn't seem like I don't know, that just didn't seem like the only thing that you could rest this on. And then within a month of meeting with Adam for the first time, and we were having conversations, Leonard passed. So initially, right off the bat, that changed everything. So, because it was unexpected. I mean, yes, he'd had COPD for years now, but it was just not expected to happen like that. We thought, you know, he could have lived with it for a few more years, possibly. So, you know, and then there was just an outpouring. Obviously, you know, we were all, as filmmakers and just as fans and everybody else in the world, saw how much love there was for Leonard and for, you know, the character he played. And you gotta, of all the characters that have ever come out of television, you know, that character is one of the most iconic characters in popular culture. You know, maybe Lucille Ball, but you can draw a stick figure of Spock and people will recognize who that is. So, you know, that speaks to how much weight he's had in our lives for over 50 years, you know, 55 years now. So, you know, we knew that had to be addressed. And, you know, Adam was directing this. This was his father's story. And it was also we encouraged him to tell his story and his relationship with his father, because point of view is a really important piece of any documentary. Anybody can make a documentary about Spock. I mean, sure, go out and find the funding and get people on board. That's hard work, but nobody can tell it like Adam can. He had a personal relationship with Leonard, and you know, and it wasn't always perfect, and he went there, and it wasn't salacious. You know, Adam is very candid about his own shortcomings and faults, and how his side of his relationship with his father. But we explored that, and he explored that. It was very brave of him to do, because he's not a very public person. So I mean, that's kind of how it evolved. I mean, Adam didn't want to be the face of it, but we said we think he needs to be, and I think other people said so too, and he slowly came around to that. Now he got some flack for that. People say, well, it's not the Adam Nimoy thing, but yeah, it is. If you feel so strongly as a fan that that's not the documentary you wanted to see, you should go out and make your documentary and put that out there in the world. But we just tried to facilitate the vision that Leonard and Adam came up with, and let it evolve naturally. And,
Guys, I just want to point out that the live chat is going nuts right now. You guys are awesome. I'm watching the live chat. I know Anne Marie is too. You can tell when Anne Marie's looking at the live chat because she's looking down and smiling on her phone. But it's really cool. And we see you guys. We appreciate you telling us that the sound is good and the video is good, and we appreciate all the positivity. And I know you guys are all here to find out more about the Voyager documentary, and you will very soon. But before that, I want to know, because I actually have never asked you this, Sirach. Had you seen any of the 455 documentaries before they interviewed you for the Deep Space Nine doc, What We Left Behind? Had you seen the captains, or were you going in blind?
I had seen parts of the captains, the Avery part. So I got to see Shatner at Avery's house in New Jersey, kind of their back and forth, and seeing the two of their interaction. I thought it was pretty interesting, and it was fun because Avery, when he's next to a piano, he becomes an entirely different person. But yes, and also, going back to this Spock documentary that we were just talking about, I thought that was a very good documentary, but I wasn't aware that I guess Nimoy had never seen the documentary in its entirety. Is that
Leonard?
True? Yeah.
We hadn't started shooing.
He passed away before.
He passed away
Right.
within like 2.5 months of starting the project with him. I actually never met Leonard.
So my question, my question is, what do you think his opinion of it would be?
Well, I hope that he would like it, but I think, like most people, he probably wouldn't want he'd probably be uncomfortable with it being focused on him as the man.
Not the character.
I think it's not the character. I think a lot of people, even if you're an actor, it's one thing to be an actor and to play a part, but to have to reveal something of yourself, it's got to be it's a very brave act, and I think that's challenging for people, and I don't know that he would have wanted to do that. But that said, within a year of that, I actually helped Julie Nimoy and her husband David. They made a film called Remembering Leonard that was covered a lot of the same ground in Spock, but some different things, and it really focused on the COPD. And you see Leonard's journey through the healthcare and dealing with medical professionals, and it's in some ways it's more intimate about that. But yeah, I don't know how he would have felt about For the Love of Spock. I would hope that he would have liked it. I think he would be very proud of Adam and what Adam accomplished.
Right. Yeah. When you set out to do the documentaries, because I guess none of the documentaries, at least the ones that I've seen, don't seem the same. There doesn't seem to be like this cookie cutter formula or standard that you use. When you guys did What We Left Behind, I felt like I had never seen a documentary like that before. especially with the look inside of the writer's room and also this fictitious 8th season, first episode. Those were like concepts that I don't think ever really been explored in a documentary film before. So what takes you guys in a different place when you start making these things, and how do you separate yourself from making cookie cutter kind of standard things?
Well, I mean, first of all, in regards to what we left behind, a big part of that, a very huge part of that is Ira Stephen Bear, and his sensibilities. And he was another one who he was going to interview people, but he was not originally going to direct that film, and we kept saying, and actually, I don't know if you remember, but early on, Adam was the director of the film. And, there were some creative differences there. And I think Adam, wisely decided to step away. And I think as Iris started going through his creative process, he got more and more involved. And we functioned, the team, Dave, Luke, Kai, myself, kind of as the writer's room of that documentary. So it was very much, I mean, we all had a lot of input, but a lot of the sensibilities and the left turns and the things that you wouldn't expect, a lot of that was, if not directed by Ira, was encouraged by Ira, and we all kind of brainstormed that. So I would say that the reason that film feels different from the others is because we had Ira on that. Spock feels different from the stuff that Bill Shatner did because they had different agendas and different stylistic choices and ways they wanted to approach things. I mean, for the love of Spock, it's not really, I don't want to say it's canonizing Leonard, but it's very, it is somewhat reverential to somebody who had a great impact, and the character who had a great impact. And it was, it's been said it was Adam's love letter to his dad. I don't know that Adam sees it that way, but I think that's an apt analogy. And then all the stuff that came before that was Bill. The first time I met Bill, and actually it was almost the first time I met you, Sirach, because we interviewed you in 2012 at STLV for Avery's Half Hour. And Bill was directing, and I had been editing some stuff, and he knew who I was, but we hadn't met. And I was on the set. We were in the Brasilia room off from the dealer's room, and that's where our base camp was. And he walked in, and he goes, "Joe, nice to meet you." And I'm shaking his hand, and he goes, "So I'm thinking country and bluegrass music, and I had no idea what he's talking about." and he's been, unbeknownst to me, Bill is talking to Dave about Chaos on the Bridge, and excited that I was coming in to work with them to help edit that film. And so Bill already had this vision in his mind about just the direction of the music for Chaos on the Bridge. Now, I didn't realize that's what he was talking about, but I got pretty hip to that, and I went and I scoured the music libraries, and I found as much instrumental, bluegrass and country and stuff, and that's what we cut that film to that. And Bill wanted everything to be very fast. He wants excitement. He has a short attention span. He wants to keep people grabbed. So that's what we did. That was a clear direction from him. And if you give me clear direction, I go, okay, that's your vision, I'm going to do that. So every film is different because the people that are helming it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Lolita, you were talent producer on that film, right?
On the DS9 one?
Yes.
Not as much as I am for the Voyager one, which is
right. I was going to ask you. It seems as though what you've been doing on the Voyager documentary is vastly different than what you were doing with the Deep Space Nine documentary. You've shouldered a lot more work. Do you want to compare a bit? And is it more fun?
And she was also involved with Chaos, not just
right.
as an interview, but also helps get a lot of the talent for that.
That's right. You know, it's pretty much what I do for my job in real life is gather actors together. You know, it's like herding cattle or herding kids or whatever you want to say. But yeah, on those two, it was a voluntary thing. I was happy to do it for the film. And it's always a lot of fun to connect with the actors and the behind the scenes people, you know, especially in Deep Space Nine and in our Voyager documentary, we're interviewing a lot of behind the scenes people, which is fantastic because a lot of them don't get a lot of mention. You know, people see their name on the credits all the time and don't know what they even look like. So that's a lot of fun. And we really focused on that in the Voyager documentary. But so to answer your question, Ryan, it was different because I didn't get all the talent. We're pretty much with the Voyager one. It's been most of myself getting the talent because I know all these people and we have a relationship. And it's fun. I mean, I enjoy seeing all these people. We all love to get together whenever we can. So, yeah.
For those of you at home that don't
know, your hair is looking fabulous right now.
Oh, thank you. I did it myself.
It looks great. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, everybody at home, Lolita is also a talent manager as far as an appearance manager for like dozens of these Star Trek actors. So that's why when she says it's kind of like what I do naturally, you know, it's all very similar, but you know, don't sell yourself short. I've seen that you are taking on, you're shouldering a lot more of the burden than just, you know, herding Star Trek actors in the Voyager documentary. She's out there setting meetings and saying, hey guys, we gotta say, it's like you're hurting us too.
Well, this is true. Somebody has to, you know, but I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. You know, my job on Star Trek.
I appreciate you hurting us.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. So, you know, my job on Star Trek was a coordinator. It was a little different. I was coordinating scripts, but still people all the time. So doing what I do with actors kind of just fell naturally in the right direction. So, but the documentary, I think everyone's going to see some people that we've never had on camera before, which is going to be a lot of fun for everyone.
Are you having fun in this newer role, Lolita?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, no, it's been great. And I've loved being able to be the one, for the most part, interviewing so many of these people. Joe and Dave have also interviewed some, but I've done the majority of it. And it's really been fun. And it's been a roller coaster of emotion. I mean, knowing these people for over 30 years, seeing some of them a lot and seeing some of them not for the first time in 30, 25 years. So there's been a lot of tears, good tears, sad tears, laughter, reminiscing. And some of these interviews we had people in the chair for 2 or 3 hours and it just zipped. So it's been a lot of fun, especially that week in Los Angeles, which you all are going to see a little sneak peek of. I think we did 30, 40 people that week.
I think we did 35, but there were a few like where we would put people together. We do them individually and then put them together. So there's a couple, there's probably between 35 and 40 interviews. And we had a studio for 10 days. And I think we shot for 8 of those 10 days.
Yeah.
So, and they were long days, you know.
Very long days.
I was there for 12, 13 hours every day.
You were there one of the longest.
Was that chair comfortable, that interview chair?
Not for a lot of people.
The captain's chair, you mean?
Let me just say, if you were under 5'7", it was not comfortable at all. So, because it was really
problem, right, Sirach? Whatever.
So
no problem.
We had some padding behind us in the back. So it looked cool, but it wasn't the most comfortable chair. No.
I guess we need Trip to fix it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had a question. So, you know, when you're doing these documentaries, you get all these interviews. I see sometimes, you know, you had Jeffrey Katzenberg and Les Moonves and Iggy Pop was in the What We Left Behind.
Well, we didn't get him. We tried to get him. We tried to get it to Iggy, but he was on tour or something.
So he just got his music. So he's credited, but he's not in it. But my question is basically, who is the like interview that you thought, wow, this is kind of strange that I'm interviewing this guy right now, outside of the Star Trek, or connected but not, outside?
Well, when we were doing Spock, I wasn't there for all the interviews. I actually had a sick family member, so I missed some of them. But I remember Jason Alexander was interviewed for Spock, and I missed that. I wanted to be there for that, and he was just a big fan. And there's a scene. One of my favorite things in Spock is that I contributed to it. Is he did a great impression of Shatner giving this speech about how risk is our business, and so we had the scene playing in the film, and it started out, it was Jason Alexander's voice under Shatner, and then he comes, but he was sunk up to it, so you think it's Shatner, but I think it starts with Shatner, and then you hear Jason, and then you come out to Jason. But I wish I had been there because I'm a big Seinfeld fan, and he was also the face of Dr. Pepper at one point.
Well, have him back for the Voyager doc, since he's in that episode.
You're right. He was.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
With the think tank.
Did we reach out to him?
No, he's on our long list. Yeah. Lists that we talk about, and some people are just hard to get to. It's true. You can try and imagine. Obviously, the most important thing for the Voyager documentary, like the others, is to get the main cast, and you really would like to have all of them. And so far, we've gotten through to many of the cast. Everyone knows about it. Everyone's on board. We really got slowed down, just like everyone in the world, because of COVID. So we've had to kind of be very creative over the last year and a half with where we shot and how we shot. Getting that 10 days in Los Angeles was like a dream come true, because we hadn't had anything like that. We'd done a few in person, but only with one person at a time. And it's been great. And of course, as you'll see, it's not just Voyager people, not just Voyager actors. This is one big family, one big Star Trek family. So we have actors from Deep Space Nine and Enterprise, and everyone's been so supportive of this documentary. So that's been fun. It's not just seeing the people from Voyager, it's seeing people from the other shows as well.
I think if you look at what we left behind, you'll see that there were people that were not necessarily part of the Deep Space Nine cast or crew, but they were instrumental in it. People like Carrie McCluggage, who was the head of Paramount Television at the time. We like to get those more unique voices that and come at things from a different perspective. And I believe, Anne-Marie, you saw that in Chaos on the Bridge. We had John Pike, we had all those writers, we just had a lot of different people in. Traditionally, we didn't have as much of the cast, but we had a lot of the writers, and they had a very unique story to tell. There was actually more. The cast got along fine. Everybody knows the Next Generation cast. They had a blast. But if you were a writer, especially in those first couple of years, it was a rocky road. A lot of those people didn't survive. At least they survived living, but they didn't survive that show.
They ended up on that bathroom list.
Career.
Where they wrote all the writers who left.
So
it was a revolving door in those days. Trust me, I was there. It was crazy.
Yeah, and so in relation to the journey, some of the things that I'm very proud that we got is we have several executives from Paramount and UPN in the can. We have a few more that we're planning on getting. There's a woman that's referenced in Chaos, but we're planning to speak to her, Lucy Salhaney, and she's really instrumental in the reason why any of us know Trek in the 80s and 90s. Is she's the one who figured out how to sell it in syndication and kept that engine running for, what she was able to do. That engine went for 17 years.
Yeah.
So,
and the fact that she was a woman in those times, a woman in that position in those times was amazing.
And Yes, and UPN, when UPN came out, she was the president of the UPN network, during Voyager.
Yeah.
So
that's going to be interview gold.
Those are the things that I think will make it unique. And if people are interested in how something is made, then hopefully they will be, because that's a part of what this documentary is about.
Yeah.
Now,
And
guys.
also, sorry.
Oh, please go ahead, Lolita.
I was just going to say, for me, on a personal note, and I know the fans are thrilled about this because I saw the reaction in Vegas, is that my dear friend Jerry Taylor, we spent 2 days at her house, and it was so wonderful to get to interview her and visit with her, because we've been close for all these years. And I know Joe and Dave have fallen in love with her. She's just a dream. And I got to bring her to Las Vegas for the first time this year, and to see the fans so excited to see her.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that's probably so far for me on the Voyager documentary. That's been the thing that's been the coolest. Yeah.
Well, I have to agree with that. I mean, to have the co-creator of the show, a part of the documentary is, Michael Piller is no longer with us. We've had Rick Berman for all those documentaries, but to have that voice of Jerry Taylor is Janeway, and so that was what a great experience interviewing her. We're so happy. I'm so happy to have met her. We're so happy that she is a part of this, and her voice has not been heard for quite a long time. So
now, guys, can you give us just a really quick update as far as how production is going, like what we're going to be shooting next, what the hopes are for shooting and getting the rest of the shots in the can over the next several months, even though obviously COVID permitting?
Yes. Well, I'll go first and I'll let Joe jump in. Fingers crossed, please, everyone. The Destination Star Trek convention in London is in November. And even though it's 2 years late because of COVID, it's still the 25th anniversary celebration of Voyager. We're hoping that most of the cast will be there. We are planning to be there as the documentary team. And we're hoping it all goes well. We're going to get a lot of great interviews and a lot of fun stuff from the cast that's there. So that's our next big jump at this point in November. So it's looking good, but you just don't know. Everything these days is so fluid. But that's our hope. And then we have some other one-on-ones we'll do over the next few months. And then Joe, as far as editorial goes.
Well, I've really just started editorial, truly. I've put together the sneak peeks and the little teasers from the cruise. I've played with a few things, but after that week and a half of shooting, it took quite a lot to, I had to process all the footage and sync all the cameras up with the audio and send everything out for transcripts. So I've done all that, and now we have all the transcripts of everything that we've shot so far going back to the cruise. And I'm now able to actually roll up my sleeves and start creating or working with the footage, not really creating, but creating moments out of all the footage that we have. So I'm really excited about that. It's, editing is kind of like, I watch a lot of cooking shows with my wife, and they always talk about mise en place. And mise en place is having all your spices and your essential ingredients all laid out. And that's what editing is. It's getting a bunch of stuff and getting it all organized and laid out so that you can now go to town and whip up some delicious food. And I'm going to try and do that for whip up delicious food for the mind.
Yum. Now, very quickly to close out the update, a quick update on the fulfillment end of things. We will be locking orders as far as Backer Kit is concerned on November 1st. So everybody that's filled out your surveys, great, awesome. Any orders can still be changed or added to until November 1st. After that, we're locking everything down, and that's a good thing. That is one step closer to ordering everything and sending it all out. So please make sure you've got that done. I think 94% of you have completed everything, but it's that other 6% that we're really watching. So we also have a very big announcement from our virtual TrekCon team member, meteorologist Katie. However, Joe and Lolita, we know you've got to go, and we do appreciate your time. Any final thoughts before we say goodbye?
Well, sorry, the gardeners just showed up. So if it's
I had my gardeners show up right when we started, so I muted, and luckily you guys all took over. I was muted for like 10 minutes.
no, I'm glad to have been able to join you all today. And again, I mean, we can't thank all of you fans enough for helping us get this project done. And it's going to be great. We're very excited and looking forward to finishing it and moving on to the next one, whatever that might be. Joe?
Everything that Lolita just said. Thank you so much for having us and having me and letting me go off and off and off. Sorry, Lolita. Sometimes I'm like a train. I can't stop rolling.
I'm good.
And it's always good to see you, Melissa and Sirach
Yes.
and Ryan. And it's a pleasure to meet you,
Yes.
Marie.
So starstruck.
Thank you, everyone that's watching.
And
Right.
Enjoy the little preview.
Oh yeah, so
definitely.
Can't
Oh,
wait.
in 17
And we
minutes,
want to stress that this preview, it's not a teaser for the documentary. It's just an overview of what we did in that 10-day period. So you can and it was so you could see the beautiful set that we had designed by a couple of the art directors on the Orville who were donated their time, which was just awesome. So we're very thankful for that. And so we hope you enjoy that. But you're not going to get any insights into the documentary other than the fact that you're going to see a lot of people that worked or were part of that series.
So the chef says you're just going to get a taste, guys. Just a taste.
That's right.
All right. Thanks, Lolita. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you so much. See you all
Thank you,
later.
guys.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
And as they go, we're bringing on Katie, who's got a big announcement for everybody. And guys, don't forget, in a couple minutes, we're opening these boxes. We're going to open these gigantic boxes in just a second. Hello, Katie.
Hello, how's it going?
Awesome. I don't know if you've been watching us.
What's up,
live.
Katie?
Hey, it's great to see you guys.
Good to see you too.
You too.
It's been too long.
Oh, I know. Time
Well,
has
let's
no
just-
meaning anymore, so it could have just been yesterday. I don't know anymore.
Everybody at home, this is meteorologist Katie. You can find her everywhere online, pretty much everywhere. Just type in meteorologist Katie. If you can spell meteorologist, it's hard for me just
Yeah.
to say it. But
You always
she
look up
does-
icicle poop too. I'm known for that.
Yep. So, Katie, you've got a big announcement for us, right?
Yes, I have 2 Emmy nominations. So
What?
That's amazing.
I'm really excited.
Yes.
I didn't think I was gonna get it.
Congratulations.
Amazing.
Isn't that awesome?
Congratulations.
So
That's
excited.
so
Thanks,
wonderful.
guys. Yeah, it was one of those things where I applied. I was like, I'm just a kid doing fun weather stories. And meteorologists and news in general have our Emmys. And I got picked. My name
That's
was actually on the list,
amazing.
guys, for once in my life.
Amazing.
That's
That's
awesome.
good.
That's so
That's
cool.
Wow.
So when do we find out when you win? If you win,
Yeah,
I should say.
October 9th. Yeah, I like the optimism. It should be October 9th or October 10th. It's going to be up in Minneapolis. So I'm like trying to figure out logistics wise if there's any cons around that same time period. Maybe I could just take a week and go have fun. But
Wow.
That is
So
so
not just
exciting.
one, 2 Emmys? They'll doubled up on you?
That's great.
yes, I have one for news and weather, which is about petrichor, which for any Doctor Who fans out there, the episode on petrichor actually inspired me to do this. So if I win, I have to thank Neil Gaiman because he wrote the episode. But I did one piece on my own, and then we did a half-hour-long special on this like cataclysmic flooding that happened in 2011 with our weather team. So I have a solo and I have an ensemble, if you will.
Nice.
Whoa.
I'm really excited.
Nice.
Like I said, young kid,
You're running
didn't think I
better
was gonna
than
get it, but hey.
the women's team.
Yeah.
Katie, I just want to point out that Anne Marie here typed in the chat, "Oh my God, amazing." And
Oh,
she said it and then she typed it.
Yeah.
Uh,
thank you.
So, Sirach, we know you have a heart out and you got to run, but it's been great. It's been fun. And everybody, check out Sirach on the 7th Rule every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, every Monday
9
at 6
p.m.
p.m.
Eastern.
Pacific time, and every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern, Pacific, whatever.
It's
Follow them on
noon,
social
noon
media.
Eastern.
Yes.
Noon Eastern. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing my dad thing. So my daughter just turned 10 and she's trying out for basketball today. So I gotta take off, guys, and
Nice.
be there.
That's
Be there for
fun.
her.
Oh
Yay.
my gosh.
And
So
good luck to her
congratulations,
too.
Katie.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye, Anne Marie. Bye, Melissa.
Good luck at
Bye,
tryouts.
Okay.
Yes, good luck.
See you soon.
Ryan. I'll see you guys.
Right. See ya. Katie, can you stick around and watch me open boxes while Melissa and Anne Marie gush about how great Sirach was on Star Trek Day?
I am
Well, first
totally
I
game
want to
for
be
that.
like, don't you wish it was baseball tryouts?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes.
So here's the bag that came after when
Oh
we
my
left
God,
Star Trek
bag!
Day. It's
Oh my
got
gosh, I have your
some
bag.
Star Trek. Okay, we got to do something, guys. I'm gonna
You're
take away all
phasing.
the magic. Should I just take off the green screen so that? Or
Yes.
should I just? Okay.
Oh,
Reveal the
Open
secret.
the box.
reveal the YouTube award.
Well, maybe I could do that instead. Is
Okay.
that better?
Yeah. Although the
No, that still sucks.
will gets fuzzy.
I was blurring it.
All right, here we go. So we got some Star Trek socks. Boy, that was a lot of work just to show you guys some Star Trek socks.
They're snazzy.
We have a Paramount hat, so you can look
Oh
like
my
a PA everywhere you go.
Yes.
Or
See you out on the
producer,
tennis court.
whatever.
Just,
We have a mask,
Oh,
so you
that's
can look like
cute.
a
They're very
responsible
cozy. It's upside down, but it's cute and cozy.
I love those bags though. They're really cute.
They're
Yes.
great. And there's pockets inside.
Oh my gosh.
oh,
Ooh.
that is
Captain's log.
legit.
Whoa,
Yeah.
it really has Picard's notes in here.
Shut up. Don't tease me.
Someday.
I've been so excited.
Let's see. What's in this box? You guys must have opened this. Oh, yeah.
What's in
Yeah,
the
it's
Oh, Melissa, you got it right there.
Yeah.
Twinsies.
You
fabulous.
didn't even have to turn off your green screen for it.
Oh, these are so
I
pretty.
know.
Everybody at home, did you guys love Star Trek Day or what? Wasn't that awesome?
It was fun.
I'm so intrigued by who is in the audience too. Like Jolene to Paul.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Oh
saw,
my God, she
uh,
looks so fabulous.
I want to know the meaning of that.
We saw
I
one.
want to know how
Trek
everyone
fan.
stays like so young.
She said that one Trek fan said that she's seen all of the documentaries, which is pretty amazing.
Wow.
Chain,
Mhm.
nice little
Oh,
chain
cute.
there. We got a cool Picard visitor badge.
You've been wanting that.
Ooh.
Didn't you just tell me like last week that you were hoping to
Ooh.
get that badge?
I don't know.
Mine looks different.
Then it's a bag. I know
That
everybody
bag's
got a
adorable.
different badge, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
My badge is different.
And they also gave us this cool little lunch pack. You know, it's got like lunch food liner to keep your food nice and cool.
That's adorable.
It's got zippers
Aw.
and goodies. They had cheese and goodies in there. What was your
I know.
Ooh,
favorite?
fully stocked.
What was your favorite panel, Anne Marie? Okay.
You know, okay, obviously I'm
Oh, yeah,
gonna say
there's-
something like Picard because that was I think my favorite moment was the trailer for season 2. I'm still getting chills. But I actually was really shocked by how much I enjoyed the Prodigy panel. It's kind of fascinating, and basically all they say is super brand new because we still don't know that much about it, and it's the first kids show since TAS. So I think that's the one that really intrigued me. But obviously all of the 90s Trek is just like tingles and excitement, and the Picard moment like took my breath away. in addition to, I mean, I guess also, wait, all of them were good, but also Strange New Worlds was pretty fun too. But yeah, and obviously Sirach.
Oh, check this out. This comes with one of those
Oh yeah.
things that you
A
put on
calling
your
Oh,
card.
it's a pop socket.
Pop socket.
right.
Yeah.
You put these on your phone.
Oh my god, I
Mhm.
thought it was a prepaid calling card
So
from this.
that's pretty cool.
Oh, I didn't know they pop out, and that's why they're called pop sockets. That makes more sense.
Eh?
Another hat, so you can look like a script coordinator.
Oh wait, but put the
Oh.
box down like so you can see the inside lid for a second. I thought the inside lid was really cool. Like
What?
no, it's like the inside where it says how many
That's how-
episodes and like how many
says
seasons.
13
Isn't that so fun?
television series.
Awesome.
Like 38
And it really puts into
seasons.
perspective
Guys-
how much time I've sunk into this fandom.
I know.
Paramount and Star Trek on Paramount Plus really treat their people very well. So shout out to them. Their PR department, their social media department are freaking phenomenal. Everybody that's watching this at home, go tweet them and tag them and tell them how much you love everything that they're doing. They're trying to treat the fans as best as they can, and I've never heard of a franchise being this good to fans. Let me tell you, the Golden State Warriors, they never send me free basketballs and autographs and stuff. I've been
And they
with
never
my
invite
fandom my
all of their
entire life.
fans in LA to their like amazing
Or
events
socks.
for free.
Are those the same socks?
They're the same socks, yeah.
And they're Warriors
Okay.
colors, speaking of which. And this, I think, is
Oh,
like glittery
yeah.
face paint or something.
Wow, wait, what?
You could be an Andorian.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That reminds me of the Jeffrey Combs song where he says, like, you know, I'm an Andorian. I'm a.
Yeah.
What's
yeah.
this though? This is, I don't know what
Oh,
this is.
guess what this is? It's a space pen like in Seinfeld. Where
It's
I
a
think
harmonica.
Oh, wow.
right upside down.
I wish it was a harmonica.
That would have been so great.
It was
Oh,
an actual
Just imagine like
harmonica.
a
Wait,
bunch
doesn't
of
Trip
Star Trek
play the
fans running
harmonica?
around with harmonicas.
I
Doesn't
know.
Trip play harmonica?
So this is a space pen. That's pretty cool, right? You could write upside
I just love
down.
that
You
it's
could
in
write in a can of
Seinfeld.
beans.
Mhm.
Let's see what else
Still
we
wish that was a
have.
harmonica.
This swag is so
I
fun.
know. I'm waiting for the harmonica.
Got
There's a
some
Star Trek
bubbly.
theme on it.
Yes.
Oh my
Engraved.
god,
Yum.
that's gorgeous.
And some
Um,
a little roll of sheet music to play your favorite lower decks on the harmonica.
Oh my god, we're gonna run out of time. You guys gave me too much stuff, Star Trek. Look, oh, here's another captain's log. We're gonna run out of time. All right, we're gonna really blitz
them.
through this. They gave us one of these
This
things.
is so cool. The 3D
love that.
Viewmaster.
See?
What do you see in
Cool.
it? What do you see when you look at it?
Melissa's head.
Actually, Melissa was in the beginning of the Star Trek Day like live video.
People kept saying that, but wow.
This is also very exciting. A Star Trek Day trivia game.
Oh, I want
Look
to
at
play that so
this.
bad. We're gonna have to take that out during a
That's
free
fun.
for all during 7th rule.
All right, everybody in the live chat, how many of you played with the Viewmaster when you were a kid? Katie is still a fetus. She probably doesn't even know what the hell it is.
I was
She's
gonna say, I
never
think my
even heard of
mom
it.
had one of those.
Yeah, they were pretty cool.
All right, this is the last thing, and I don't know what this is, but it's Star Trek related,
wallet?
I'll bet.
It's a Happy Meal.
Another pin.
Sure.
I don't know. Harmonica. I'm still.
Yeah.
Ooh, I see a cord. That means it's something cool and electronic.
Oh, you know what? This is actually the coolest thing in the whole box. Sorry to yell. I forgot about how cool this is.
Oh, it's a coaster. Nice.
No, it's a power
Look,
thing. And look what it says.
Oh, no way.
Scotty, we need more power. And it
Scotty-
is one of those like
amazing.
things for cell phones.
It's like a phone charger? Wow,
Yes.
brilliant.
Isn't that the
Yeah,
their
don't
flag
put water
was-
on
Star
it.
Trek is awesome. Look how cool
Isn't
Star
that-
Trek is.
I know. That box
Right.
just outdid it.
My
They
room
outdid
is messy
themselves.
now, but it's messy with cool stuff. All right. So
So how do
We
we watch
have
the
to go-
preview?
in 4 minutes, everybody, when we're done with this, hop over to the Voyager documentary preview, sneak peek, teaser. You're going to love it. It's in 3.5 minutes from now. So real quick to end the show, let's just go over this week. By the way, we'll be talking more about the events of the week and the news of the week and all kinds of cool Star Trek stuff in future episodes. But for now, yesterday, if you go to the Seventh Rule, check out yesterday's episode. It was Dr. Bashir, I presume, and our special guest was Chase Masterson. So you're going to love that one. That's on youtube.com/the7th-rule. Today, obviously, after this, go check out that sneak peek. Tomorrow, Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, Falling Tower is premiering the review of Curb Your Enthusiasm. If you remember that
one. A
one.
lot of Seinfeld talk this week.
I know. With special guest, Virtual TrekCon's own Scott Baker. Shout out to Scott Baker. We love him.
Cool.
And Michael Kenyon Rosenberg will be there, of course, as always, another VTC alum. Lastly, Thursday, in a couple days, the Seventh Rule will be premiering a review of the new Lower Decks episode that actually premieres that very day. So the day that it premieres, Seventh Rule reviews it, puts it up there. That's at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. All right, Katie, where can everybody stalk you online?
You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. All you have to do is really type in meteorologist Katie or weather Katie and I pop up. I'm like a bad ghost, but like a friendly ghost. But I pop up in the weirdest spots.
All right.
Apparently, I'm very popular with furries right now.
Wow.
Oh, wait.
Alrighty.
Oh, my
then.
gosh.
Oh, wait.
That was the thing as of today.
I don't know if I
Melissa.
can catch in the funny comment from Muhammad really fast. From
Melissa,
Dr.
where
Muhammad
can
Noor.
find you
Oh, go ahead.
online?
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Walking Art made by Melissa.
What's your tag?
YouTube, Melissa Longo. But it
Easy,
looks
check it
like
out.
Melissa, but it's not Melissa. It's Melissa. It's a long I.
And Anne-Marie
You deserve
Siegel,
it.
where can they find you online? Where can they stalk you?
Anne-Marie Siegel, 1, like the number 1 on Twitter.
Great.
Or just look who retweets everything about Virtual TrekCon.
She's our resident web crawler.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it, guys. We've done a lot of good. Everybody at home, they're asking for links. So if you'd like a link to everything we just mentioned, we'll add those right now in the description box. The Voyager premiere sneak peek actually does have a link in the description box below. So check that out in about 30 seconds. We will add the Seventh Rule and the Falling Tower ones in just a minute as well. So after you watch that, come on back and check that out. That's it for us. We better go. How's this for a tagline? Hey guys, hey everybody. If you love Star Trek, put it on the main viewer. I mean, yeah. Thanks, Katie.
Next week at 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday.